Imagine this: two major faiths, seemingly two distinct paths, but in their depths there are hidden bridges stretching back centuries. For those who seek not just the surface of sacred texts, but their heart, their soul, the Sufi mystics in Islam, and the wisdom of Kabbalah in Judaism. What if I told you that these two traditions, seemingly distant at first glance, are actually pursuing the same ancient secrets? The workings of the universe, the nature of God, the potential of humanity. These two mystical paths, seeking answers to all these grand questions, possess surprisingly similar concepts, symbols, and practices. In this video, we will peel back the layers of the Sufi and Kabbalistic traditions and reveal their hidden connections. Get ready, we're embarking on a journey beyond the known. As we all know, Islam and Judaism are two important members of the Abrahamic family of religions. However, beyond the mainstream forms of worship, a deep inner mystical dimension has developed in both faiths. In Islam, this dimension is known as Sufism. It aims to draw closer to God through the path of love and surrender. In Judaism, this mystical tradition is Kabbalah. It interprets sacred texts using esoteric methods to understand the mysteries of the universe and God. For centuries, both Sufis and Kabbalists have not been content with merely following religious rules, but have sought a deeper understanding of the nature of existence and the divine. So, how is it that these seekers walking two different paths arrived at such similar conclusions and ideas? This is where the ancient secret part begins. Let's take a closer look at Sufism first. Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam. Its primary goal is to purify the self and reach God, to experience the states of annihilation in Him and subsistence in Him. For Sufis, the path is the path of the heart. Love, devotion, and continuous zikr, remembrance of God, are fundamental. As the famous Sufi poet and thinker Mevlana said, "When love arrives, intellect departs." Sufism emphasizes burning with a divine love beyond dry knowledge and reaching truth through this path. Disciplining the ego, freeing oneself from worldly attachments, and embodying divine ethics are stages of the Sufi journey. Sufi masters guide their murids, disciples, on this challenging inner journey. Various orders, tariqas, have emerged, each with its own unique practices and teachings. However, their common thread is the belief that the ultimate truth resides in the heart and the deep yearning for divine love. Now, let's move on to Kabbalah, the mystical tradition of Judaism. The word Kabbalah means tradition or received knowledge in Hebrew. For Kabbalists, the main goal is to understand the nature of God, the creation of the universe, and humanity's place in the cosmos. This knowledge is often attained by deciphering the hidden symbolic meanings of sacred texts using esoteric methods. One of the most well-known concepts in Kabbalah is the Sephirot. These are the 10 divine attributes or emanations between God's infinite and incomprehensible essence, Ein Sof, and the created world. Kabbalists believe that by understanding and working with these Sephirot, they can better comprehend God and rectify the divine flow in the universe. Kabbalah also attaches great importance to letters, numbers, and symbols. Hidden meanings are sought through the numerical values of words or combinations of letters in sacred texts. This means not just reading, but delving into the text and finding the divine wisdom beneath the surface. The Zohar is one of the most important and influential texts in Kabbalah. Let's get to the points that unite these two magnificent traditions, those ancient secrets. Surprisingly, there are deep conceptual and practical similarities between Sufism and Kabbalah. 1. The search for divine unity. Both traditions seek to attain ultimate unity. In Sufism, the principle of Tawhid, unity, emphasizes the absolute and incomprehensible God, while the concept of Ein Sof, the infinite, in Kabbalah, expresses a similar transcendent essence of God. Both believe that God is both transcendent and immanent. 2. Spiritual journey and stages. Both Sufism and Kabbalah teach that spiritual development is a journey with different stations or stages along the way, such as maqamat and ahwal in Sufism, or ascending the sephirot in Kabbalah. These stages represent the process of purifying the self and drawing closer to the divine. 3. Symbolism and esotericism. Both traditions employ rich symbolism and interpret sacred texts beyond their literal meanings. Sufis infuse metaphors like love, wine, and the beloved in the Quran and Hadith with divine meaning, while Kabbalists believe that every word, every letter in the Torah carries hidden significance. 4th, inner knowledge, gnosis. Concepts such as marifa, knowledge, or irfan, gnosis, in Sufism, and hokmah, wisdom, or da'at, knowledge, in Kabbalah, emphasize deep inner knowledge attained not just intellectually, but through mystical experience. True knowledge is gained through direct contact with the divine. 5th, meditative and contemplative practices. Practices in Sufism like zikr, remembrance of God, repetition, and sema, whirling ritual, aim for concentration and a state of ecstasy. In Kabbalah, practices like deep contemplation, hitbonut, on specific prayers, letter, and name combinations also aim to reach higher states of consciousness or resonate with the divine flow. 6. Emphasis on love and goodness. Both traditions teach that divine love is the fundamental power of the universe and that humans must love God and all of creation. The concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, in Kabbalah emphasizes humanity's responsibility to restore cosmic balance through their actions, while service and compassion for creation in Sufism are reflections of this universal love. These connections, these ancient secrets, show us not only how close the mystical dimensions of different faiths can be, but also how universal the answers given to fundamental existential questions shared by humanity for thousands of years can be. Perhaps, beneath the apparent distinctions, a common river flows, uniting all wisdom traditions. As we've seen, Sufi mysticism in Islam and the Kabbalah tradition in Judaism are not just mystical extensions of their respective faiths. They also offer surprisingly similar paths for exploring the depths of existence, drawing closer to the divine, and understanding the ancient secrets. The connections between these two traditions remind us how enriching interfaith dialogue and mutual understanding can be. Although in different forms, the search for truth, love, and wisdom are the deepest yearnings of the human soul. What are your thoughts on this topic? Were you surprised by these similarities between Sufism and Kabbalah? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified of new videos. See you on the next mystical journey.